Right. Hopefully everything's working fine. I noticed that my mic sounded a bit weird earlier in the afternoon. But yeah, after our time with What Wins Me, I was gonna jump into Code Wayne, but then I just realized that the release of the Defiance remaster is just a few days away, and I kind of wanted a recap of the original Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2 before we began. Because I'm not even picking up Resident Evil 9 just for this game, just for the final full game of Legacy of Kain that we have at the moment. I've already actually completed both these games, but yeah, this is more or less a recap. So, is the game's audio like really low? We boost that up ever so slightly. Boost it up on my end too, because that's probably the reason. Yeah, a bit of an odd timing for me to start. I was kind of exhausted, so felt way too unwell to just hop in and start. So yeah, the creepy menu where the statues will turn into vampires and look at you. Like, it's a very cool animation they have. Give me a sec while I link this to a friend of mine. Yeah, a friend of mine actually linked this one Gunpla that he was not familiar with. I'm not a Gunpla fan myself, but I watch a lot of Gundam, so he and Mikha anime, and he was like, you probably recognize this. I did not, but I managed to search it up, and it was this very cool looking Gundam that actually looks like a cross between a Gundam and a Paladin. The SN, I don't even know the entire name here. The SN Great Sword Christian Gundam or something. It's a very cool design, and apparently it's based off, or rather, just a line possibly based off the SD Gundam series with the same name. But let's leave that alone and actually go into the game. So we were. I don't want to interrupt the dialogue. It's so good.
Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all.
As were we all.
However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants. I stood with Kain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine.
Divine. Oh, this dialogue just lives rent-free in my head.
Change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow. Until I had the honor of surpassing my lord.
Feels so weird seeing this cutscene in 60 FPS.
For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward.
Agony.
Agony.
Such a good track too.
Possible outcome. My eternal damnation. Razio was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the Lake of the Dead.
Cast him in.
Cast him in.
Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. An eternity passed, and my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice of madness. The descent had destroyed me, and yet
I lived.
I know you, Raziel. You are
worthy.
what madness is this?
What pitiful form
is this that I have
is that I've come to inhabit?
Death
Death
would be a release
for this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice
Is
is
not yours.
I am destroyed.
You
You are reborn.
The
The birth of one of Cain's abominations traps the essence of life.
It is
Is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in.
And that, Raziel, is the
The demise of Nosgoth.
There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot
Spin the wheel of fate. I cannot
complete their destinies.
Oh, okay, I'm messing that up. But yeah, like a lot of this dialogue is just so good.
Or if you prefer,
Avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Cain.
Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my
Soul Reaver, my angel of death. So yeah, the original Soul Reaver is not too long of a game. I'm hoping that I can actually go through the game entirely before the release of the remaster of Defiance. And as you can see, I love the dialogue in this game. It is so just Shakespearean in nature, right? And they act it out in full ham, if I guess it will be considered hammy these days, but they take the tone so seriously you just can't ignore it. It's so good. And I still remember a lot of the dialogue from the opening scenes and the more significant ones. Maybe not the ones that we have with the bosses and all, or ones like these.
a path across great
Chasms. Your checkpoint system. I feel like there was a bit of a tutorial to this too, and I might. Oh wait, it is visible here. Yeah, I've already completed this game. I'm just playing it just for the heck of it because I want to recap before Defiance. And it's a very short game, but it's all gonna depend on how well I remember the puzzles. Because Soul Reaver 1 and 2 are very puzzle based.
You are weak.
You must feed.
The old
Hunger has left me.
I have no
I
desire.
have no desire for blood.
You are
No
changed.
change.
Your blood
No thirst is replaced by a deeper need.
You've become a devourer.
I swear the pacing of this was a bit slower in the original.
You must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls,
The souls
your
of our
enemies.
enemies. It's also a bit weird to be running around with the camera so close. That is not something that's typical with most games these days. Or at least I think I prefer it having the camera being slightly back to the player character.
Your wings, though ruined, are not without purpose. Take hold of them as you leap, and they will carry you
across this chasm.
What scabrous wretches are these?
What scabrous wretches?
Stua, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
You're getting it. Speech, language. Let me just switch on subtitles just so that I can learn the actual names here. I prefer playing without them, but I feel like it's much better with the subtitles in this game. And yeah, even though the game kind of tells you it's easier to lock on, the AI isn't too smart if you start just running around and whacking them.
You have much to learn, Raziel. When you are ready, this barrier will be dissolved.
Wait a minute. What did I not do? Oh, it wants me to get all the enemy souls, I guess. There we go. Yep. I was already full, Elder God. I didn't need the extra souls.
These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather
matter
and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time. Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
Now, I remember in the original, I actually found some way to climb upon these pillars in the spectral realm. It feels a bit floaty in the remaster. You can kind of jump here. It's very easy to fall off, though. When I played this when I was younger, and when I played this, the whole aesthetic was like really creeping me out, to be honest. It's very sensitive. But yeah, you can sort of get that one early if you really wanted to, because if you shift out into the spectral realm, I believe, it increases the height. Oh, is it the other way around? Not sure. Well, I guess I can experiment here just by jumping over to this one here. Yeah, it's very slight. Nope, we're not reaching it. Never mind. I feel like it might be because it's been so long and my memory might just be mistaken. I might have had the climbing ability back then, but I feel like there was a part of me that actually managed to reach that, somehow glitch it and managed to reach that one sigil up there.
You are young yet, Raziel.
Neither have no lift.
Still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses.
Stands as thin as air.
Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
Oh, I would love to have a voice like Tony's. How? I always end up clipping myself very slightly. And yeah, this is something new to the remaster. They put like an interactive icon to let you know that, hey, you can interact with these
creatures.
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high
of our
blood.
high blood.
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel?
Much has changed since you passed from the world of men. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna be saying that a lot, but I love the dialogue in this
I
game.
knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself.
Also, there's a glitch where you can actually sort of
Vampires
jump beyond the activation boundary in the original, and they'll just stand in place.
Need only fear those wounds that impale
Impale or inflame.
Water
Scorches like acid,
and
and
fledglings are
are devastated by sunlight's touch.
I would have to modify my tactics to suit
My foes.
Unfettered from the flesh, a creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow.
I kind of wish there were ways that you could skip. Yeah, not the smartest of enemies, as you can see. Though I think there was a part of...
Your physical prowess surpasses what you
You know what, never mind. There's so many tutorials here.
Obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
What I was about to say is... I feel like in the original, those guys would have just waited below the ledge. Since you were in sunlight. Some of the other vampires are actually smart enough to do that. Maybe not Duma's brethren. Also, very odd timing for me to start my streaming because I'll probably have to take a break soon with my sibling coming home. I have to open the door and all.
My God! The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged.
Centuries.
Between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
Elizabeth Nosgoth.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began.
So appropriate right now, even for us, I guess.
Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, I've already completed both of these remasters. Happy World War III Day, yes. Definitely not the news I was expecting. I even know a few people who were flying over the airspace and I was like, oh my god, are they okay? And luckily some of them managed to be advanced. Some of them actually got stuck. They were stranded on the other airport before they left. But yeah. It would have, it's no, you know what, I'm jumbling over my words. What I wanted to say was, there is no more appropriate dialogue from the Elder God about today than that. But yeah, other than that, what I was about to say is I've already completed the remasters for Soul Reaver 1 and 2, but one of the reasons why I had not picked up the recent Resident Evil 9, although I'm hearing so many good things about it, is because I hear there's a remaster for Defiance being released very soon. I already own Defiance and GOG, but trying to play it on controller is a bit of a challenge. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it as soon as it releases. Legacy of Kain, especially the Soul Reaver games, are one of my favorite games of all time. Like, I rank it very, very highly among everything. And so I was like, let me recap myself with the events of Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver 1 and 2 before Defiance comes out. Both these games are not too long. The length, I guess, really depends on how quickly I remember the solutions for the various puzzles. And there's a part of my where winds meet aesthetic coming in here as I try to lock on using the R3 button. But it's gonna be a while before I go back to that. I actually completed all the bosses for that one, so I'm pretty happy on that front. My original intention was to get Code Vein till I remembered that the release of not get Code Vein, play Code Vein 2, until I remembered that the new Defiance remaster was coming out. Time magic? Not exactly. Time plays a huge factor at the very end. Yes, the parallel dimension tech, that is correct, because you can shift between the material realm and the spectral realm. And right now we are in the material realm. You'll soon see me shift into the other realm to proceed. And as you can see, I can pretty much just toggle the original PS1 or Sega Saturn graphics and the remastered graphics on a button press. The environments haven't changed much, but the character models are amazing.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss.
My tomb and the womb of my rebirth. Yeah, I love the dialogue in this game.
Much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed. These cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence.
Again, a very short game if you know what you're doing. Now, as to whether I know, it's a completely different thing. I'm kind of surprised they kept in the PS1 thing of occluding the distance. Like on PS1 games, they saved on memory by making sure the distance was really black. Yes, I'm hearing good things about RE9 as well, and I know a lot of friends who are like, you need to play it. Even my younger sibling, who's a fan of Resident Evil, is like, get it. And I'm like, I want to wait until the remaster for Defiance comes out. After we finish Defiance, I'll be jumping right into RE9. And yeah, we kind of expected it to be a bit silly, especially with Leon around, because Leon's section looked very action heavy, while Grace's sections were like more the horror side of stuff, right? Sibling stream went very unlikely. I asked them a few times before, but they were like, you know what, no. The two of them might play together, but they generally do not like to play with me because I'm a lot more experienced and I just sit there with very judging looks. So yes, but they have fun when they're playing together because they are more or less very new to gaming. Not completely new, but at one point they were so new they couldn't actually even turn on the camera. It was very much a learning process for them, but they love the Resident Evil games. Like among the games that I can convince them to play, oh well, right, one thing to remember is that in the original Soul Reaver, until you get the Soul Reaver, your health will be slowly draining. But yeah, what I wanted to say was, they with any game, I usually have to sell it to them, right? Like try to convince them that, hey, you guys are gonna like this game. It was the case for Persona. It was the case for Catherine. It was the case for Beyond Two Souls, Quantic Dreams. You can tell that I'm putting them story stuff, right? And even Astrobot. But with Resident Evil, they're always ready to jump in. They love that series. And the other game that they liked was the... I'm completely forgetting the name. The co-op game that was released by... Yeah, the sequel to It Takes Two, right? Split Fiction, yeah. They love that game too. Having them play with me on the sidelines, yeah, no. They don't want me anywhere near them. Unless they get stumped by a puzzle or something that they really cannot solve, they will never call on me while they're playing games. That's just how it works. I think there's a part of them that wants to be like, you know what, we can do it. Our elder brother can do it, so can we. So something like that. And it's kind of fun to actually watch both of them play. Like, it's very entertaining. A lot more entertaining than actually watching me play. That's because they're constantly bickering about everything. Yeah, a bit of AI tech there, because the enemies will refuse to attack you. These guys, anyway, will refuse to attack you if you show your back to them. It's a trap. Not, well, they're trapped in here with Raziel, not the other way around. Can I access the one sigil over here? Because I remember there being a sigil around here somewhere. Was it in the other room? So the question is, like, do I really even want to do the sigils? Oh, I can't. I need the morph ability before I can. Admiral Akbar. He was on point.
His proud kin wiped
That
from his
alien
sword
general.
like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
And now we're wandering into Raziel's sanctum. Surprisingly, there was a multiplayer. No, I still keep trying to lock on with the R3 button. There was a multiplayer game based on the Legacy of Kain series where we got a glimpse of what Raziel's bloodline would have looked, and they called them the Razilium just to make sure that people knew that, hey, this is Raziel's bloodline. Yeah, not the very smartest bunch, since I can just keep tapping square like this to keep them eternally locked. Yep, the Raziel's brood, which they pretty much just call the Razilium. I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we're getting more of this series, right? There's a new game for this one, which is going to fill up a lot of stuff, and it's kind of connected to the illustrated comics too, because we see a character from the comics there as well. Yeah, they did Kain really good. Like, in the Legacy of Kain series, I didn't play Blood Omen until I played Soul Reaver 1 and 2. Like, going back to Kain's story after playing this, like, puts a whole new perspective on the things. And it's amazing how they changed the development of this game so much. Like, you probably know, right? That they originally intended for Kain to die in this game. And Kain was meant to die. And you were meant to go to the vampiric cathedral and sort of blow one giant organ that's would have sucked the souls out of all the vampires in Nosgoth, but they changed it later And I feel like that change was amazing. Like Amy Hennig's change for the story. Oh, right. I'll have that. Thank you very much. I need to hold it, huh? Okay. Honestly, I don't even need to fight these guys. It's faster to just run. Yes, Amy Hennig, I believe, was the writer for Soul Reaver 1 and 2. Wait, let me just confirm. I think she might be more popular for the Uncharted series. Yes, she was the director, producer, writer, and the director writer for Defiance, Soul Reaver, and Soul Reaver 2. And that's essentially where I knew her before I discovered that she was like the director for the Uncharted stuff as well. Is she heading Star Wars stuff? I've never heard of it. The last game that I know she was heading was Forspoken, where she was story concept, and then a Marvel game. I'm not entirely sure which one that was, but I know her best for this series, and for very good reason, because the writing in this, the dialogue in this, I'll keep mentioning this all throughout the game. The dialogue in this game just lives in my head rent free. It's that good. No, I'm just gonna ignore you. We want to proceed quickly to the story bits. Can I even ignore you? No, I need to activate. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, after Uncharted 2, she did move. And that's why the one I remember the most is she was part of Forspoken. And we all know how Forspoken turned out in the end. Too bad we didn't get the details on how the story was actually meant to be for that game. Yeah, I'm really surprised that they kept in the occlusion for the PS1, right? This might be a funny thing to say. The darkness and the fog you see in PS1 games is something that I have nightmares of. Whenever I have a nightmare, the distance I see is occluded by the same black ink or whatever fog like this. Whatever fog I see or like this whenever I have a nightmare. And I'm pretty sure it's because of my impressions from the PS1 days. You forgot your timer and splits. This is a run. Maybe, right? I do like Soul Reaver enough that I might consider a speed run, but I feel like with the way the game functions, there's probably a lot of glitches involved, and I'm not good at those.
I didn't recognize these flayed
There is a way to activate a photo mode too. Jump, swim, aim, map screen. There's a map screen too, yeah. Look around, glyph menu, shortcuts. Ah, yes, there we go, photo mode.
Packs of flesh.
So,
their scent was vampiric.
I kind of wanted to show the difference between
dogs.
So yeah, you can activate photo mode and take a real good look. Oh, I'm a little too far from here. Real good look at the models here. And this is their PS1 models. You can barely tell anything that's going on here, right? But when you shift to the remake, you can kind of tell that these guys are wearing the flesh of people. Yeah, the faces are on their chest and everything. Well, on the other, it's just barely visible. Now, I don't get nightmares too much, but whenever I do, it has that PS1 look. That's what I'm saying. I've been too influenced. Also, I hear the door. Be right back. Probably my sibling. All right, and back. Um, yeah, everything, all the original designs are actually really good. It's just that when you were playing the PS1 game, you kind of didn't know what was going on here. Again, you can tell that these guys are ghouls that are using the flesh of humans. Like you can see the face over there to sort of reconstruct themselves. They're vampires that are so weak in the bloodline that they can't maintain their form, right? So they hunt down humans and tear off their flesh and use their flesh to replace their own, which is flaking and falling. A lot of their designs are very cool, but in this case, we can kind of tell that a lot more. Pretty graphic here too. Not what I was expecting. And I'll be honest, Soul Reaver 1 still fills me with a sense of dread. Gonna push you to the flames. It's a bit of YouTube demonetized. That's okay. I mean, we're playing exclusively just for the experience anyway. But yeah, there's this one boss, the first boss of the game, more or less, right? And we're sort of entering his sanctuary, Mikh'a. Mikh'a genuinely terrified me. Like even now, when I head into his fortress, I'm hit by this lingering sense of dread I can't even explain. And these guys are humans, as you can see, and how they react to you entirely depends upon how you react to them in this instant. If you kill this guy, all of the other humans in the game will be hostile to you. Or rather, if you kill any human hunter you come across, they will be hostile to you. If you, however, do not kill them, they will be friendly to you, which is generally how I prefer it, since later we'll be exploring the human citadel, and it's easier to be friendly there.
Bore the unmistakable marks of Melchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
Yeah, yes. It's a lot easier to just sort of make friends with them. Oh, right, I forgot you guys do that. And they will burrow through the ground to follow you. Not the most fun thing to have happen. So I'm losing my health a lot faster than I remember. But yeah, the human citadel in this game is a completely optional area. And it's a lot easier to explore that place if you are friendly
My
with the
brother Mikha
humans.
was made last, and therefore received the poorest portion of Cain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
It's so good. Okay, Links. I'll actually need to hop off soon since tomorrow's a work day and all. Unfortunately, I couldn't begin early anyway. But thanks as always for dropping by. Hope you have a good day wherever you are going to, whether it's work or anything else. And you guys are still here. I completely forgot. Whether it's work or anything else, or if you're just gonna go enjoy the rest of the night off. I just love this game, so I am very happy to have someone to talk to about it. Okay, it's one of my favorite games of all times. The series itself, I mean. So yeah, take care. And hopefully I'll be able to catch one of your streams one day, or maybe you can tell me more about RE9 if you're playing that. Interesting choice of emote. Oh my god, what is happening with the camera? It's been a while since I've seen that dun 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 emote. That's for sure. I don't think I can actually do this. This is the way we are intended to go. Up there. Okay, there we go. There's the aiming thing. Up there, but we might need another block from somewhere before we can climb up. And if I go over there, those crypts will come to life, so we'll just ignore that for now. And Raziel is very accurate from a distance. Oh, nope, never mind. I actually fell. Yeah, it's still as floaty as before. There is a couple of side paths here, but I do believe you cannot access it at the moment. And right now, we are in the spectral realm, what we were talking about before, with the spectral and material realm. So Raziel does not have immunity to water just yet. He learns it through the course of this story in Soul Reaver 1, or rather obtains it. So whenever you accidentally fall into the water or just jump in, he dies and is transported to the spirit or spectral realm. And there'll be one other path here, which I do believe might lead you to a place that we can turn back, but I might need the climbing ability to proceed further. Yeah, because you need the climbing ability to get up that wall. Like, optional paths are hidden all over the game. It's surprisingly very Metroidvania based in design, now that I think about it. Like, you get certain abilities, they open up other paths. More or less how the game functions. And unfortunately for me, that guy's revived. We're gonna ignore him because he can't actually reach us here. Oh, right. The reason they revive is, I think if you die to the spectral realm, the stake actually gets removed. This glitch is still there too. A little place that we'll have to come back later when we get the Reaver. That's one secret I completely missed when I played the remastered version later on. Shift to the spirit realm to real hidden paths. This was something they didn't do in the original, by the way. They did not give you the hint. At least I don't remember them giving you the hint. But shifting between realms is...
Raziel, these wraiths are vampire spirits, fettered too long in the spectral realm. When their vampire natures adapt to this plane, they become eaters of souls. Do not allow these spirits to re-inhabit their corpses.
Yeah, you kind of had to figure out that by yourself. The game wasn't really going to tell you what's going to happen there. And thankfully, in the spectral realm, we don't lose our health, so we can explore with much more leisure. The game is as floaty as ever, though. Yeah, it's been a while since I played this, but I remember what I need to do with the block, thankfully. Not the controls as much, but I remember what to do with it. And you'll be facing a lot of block puzzles, and this game, don't fall, thank you. I think the block for this is down here. I think. I'm not seeing it. Oh wait, it's all the way across there. And you either dropped it down there or... Yeah, I think you just have to drop it down there. Because you cannot... Well, at least I don't remember you being able to put it... Oh no, you can. Can you actually just... No, it's the flipping that you can't do. So yeah, you kind of need to just... Otherwise you could have just ignored all the enemies down there. Really? I was sure you could also sort of just kill them by flipping the blocks onto them, but apparently not. Now, even more? Yeah, I need to take a look at how they're doing this room in a speed run. I think they just ignore the enemies and just make their way towards the end. But I'm still kind of surprised that you can't flip the block onto enemy heads. That would have made things so much easier. I'm gonna ignore you. And if you remember what the Elder God said before, that the spectral realm has neither weight, have no lift, it has no weight, you sort of remember that, hey, this is how you get through here. And another block puzzle for us to get through before. Here it's the wrong side. There's definitely a more optimal way of doing this. And here's the block that we need to cross. And if you weren't sure if you needed something, it's over there. I remember getting quite confused on how to do this little area too, because at the time I didn't see the ledge over here. So I was genuinely confused as to what was going on. Like, I suppose the nice thing about that happening when I was younger was that I realized that the game had a lot of side paths, because I ended up jumping into the lake and sort of figuring out that, hey, there are other places that we can go, just those were also dead ends, more or less. The game doesn't open up much until you obtain a few abilities, to say the least. can ignore that guy, but you kind of want to get this one. Because there's a puzzle down there and they'll definitely follow you otherwise. It's a bit of a shame that they got rid of the puzzle element from the fighting too. Because I could have just run in here and smacked those guys into the sunlight as well as an option. But I guess it was not as popular with a lot of people. Right? And at the time, God of War and Devil May Cry and everything else was getting a lot more popular as well. So yeah, people probably never saw the reason to go back to the puzzle type of combat involved in this game. Right, Mikha''s domain. I don't remember how this puzzle went. You had to move a few blocks to drop the cylinder or something. The elevator. It's not a short game if you know what you're doing. Unfortunately for me, I do not know what I'm doing. Okay, you sort of... You know what? Never mind. Let me check the other side, because I think it's leading us to the same room, more or less, where we need to activate the cogs to get the machinery functioning. But I also feel like there's a bit of a dead end in one of these rooms, but I might be mistaking it for the other area, the cathedral area. Yep, because this was just a place that has vampires in it. And we don't want to waste too much time dealing with them at the moment. First things first, I gotta move the cog on the other end. Okay, maybe I can't move it without interacting with the lever. Yeah, okay, yeah. That was probably it. I really wonder how different this game would look if it got a proper remaster and not just a visual overhaul. With proper geometry, proper textures, well, modern textures and lighting. And not what we got in the remaster here. There'd be a couple of enemies here too. I was kind of hoping, at least, because I'm running out of souls. Oh wait, this is just a puzzle block. But I believe you need to push out all of these blocks. Or was that later? Because there is the path over here too. I feel like you kind of did need to push out everything as well. But I'm not seeing any other blocks. See, this is what I meant by I probably don't remember the puzzles as much. I love the game, but I'm not repeating it enough that I remember this properly. I think you have to burn the pillars underneath the elevator first, and then it will lock into place properly. something like that. Which kind of makes me wonder what's down here. It's so dark. Right, this is the exit from the boss arena. And I won't be able to use that until I defeat Mikh'a. Yep, there we go. Wait a minute. I think I might have done something. The block that we removed, there was something behind it now that I remembered. I did the story segment as needed and I forgot about what was behind that block. No, I don't think we can interact with this until much later. I can probably go back to get it, because once I put these in the right spots... it ought to start functioning again. Yeah, can't actually jump back up there, even though I sort of see it right there. Now let's head back up that little path that we took, see what's behind the block. And the game is still letting me know that, hey, you're low on souls or food or whatever you're looking for in this world. Because I can feel the vibration, and you can see that little effect on Raziel, the little line running across his body. Wait, no, nothing's happening. I can't even move this thing. There's definitely something more to this that I'm forgetting, but before we run out of energy, where is the entrance? Because I believe the enemies would respawn, so I can actually kill a few just to replenish our energy. There we go. If they don't kill me first. Yeah, unfortunately the fledglings do not respawn, but these guys do. I'm still very low. Yeah, which is not ideal because the next boss and then the next room is actually Mikh'a. And yeah, I think I mentioned this before, but heading into Mikha''s room still sort of fills me with a weird sense of terror. I know, even though as an adult, he's less terrifying, especially as since I know what I need to do. But there's a part of my chest that's just tightening, just thinking about entering that room again. Oh, okay. You know what? Never mind. I think I understand the reason for the block now. It's just to help you get back. There's no secret behind it. I'm gonna shift into the spectral realm here. So I believe you can just get some souls here very quickly. And there should be a portal right around here. None of these will really help against Mikha, but we'll take it. Oh, almost burned myself. If anything, I'll just drop this here. Yeah, I still feel that sense of terror being in this room.
Show yourself, creature.
Do you not recognize me,
You not
brother?
recognize me, brother? Am I so changed?
He looks even more terrifying now.
Yes, brother. You should have stayed where the master sent you, Raziel. You will find Nosgoth less pleasant than you remember.
And you remember.
What has become of my clan? Answer me, little brother, or I will
Beat an answer from your horrid lips.
Everyone is afraid, sibling. You awake to a world of fear. These times of change are so
Unsettling.
Do you think I feel no revulsion for this form? Do you believe for a moment that our Lord would risk his empire upon an upstart inheritance?
Enough riddles. What are you saying?
You are the last to die.
Yeah, Mikha's fight act itself is quite simple. We just bait him underneath the spikes here. Not a difficult mechanic, but I am still terrified of Mikha. Let me tell you. The first time I came in here, I generally did not know what to do because I was expecting a frontal battle, right? A battle mano a mano. But a lot of Soul Reaver 1 bosses are just puzzles, more or less. You know what's worse now on console, on modern hardware? I can feel Mikha approaching me, like the vibrations on the joystick. And he's sort of glitched, maybe? And there you go, Mikha. Oh. It was too soon. And now you gotta basically draw him in here. Because Mikh'a can go through this. And then activate this. I think I missed it though. He was not in the center. Yeah, he was not in the center. I'll have to drag him in again. Thankfully, Mikha does not move while you're running around. So the game is more or less just letting you know that, hey, this is how it works. Am I glitching through this thing? Almost feels like it. I am. It's not particularly difficult to get the timing for that either.
Tell me, Mikha, where can I find Cain?
The master is beyond your reach, Raziel. He makes himself known when he...
Fit not when commanded. In hindsight, it's kind of ridiculous that Mikha actually just waits there. He's been living in this room for ages, right? But he just waits there to be crushed. But in all fairness, when you kill him, it does sound slightly like he's appreciative of the fact that he's dying, right? That he's been killed. Like he's happy that his suffering is over. It almost sounds like that.
He's fit, not when commanded. I am released.
Am I reduced to this? A ghoul committing fratricide?
You have done well, Raziel.
Am I reduced to this? A ghoul? A fratricide?
Elevated, Raziel, not
Reduced.
Consuming Melchiah's soul has endowed you with a new gift. Insubstantial barriers such as these are no impediment to you in the spectral realm. Will yourself to pass through, and you shall.
You shall. Yeah, and all the areas that you've been going through so far pretty much just open up. Like, the game does a really good job of letting you know that, hey, now if because you're going to be running across all these barriers that you couldn't cross through before if you explored thoroughly, and now you basically found a way that allows you to just go through them. I'll be honest, a lot of the times I just save my game and quit so that we can start back from the beginning and go on the next story point. But I also kind of want to get a few health upgrades. You don't need it, because again, a lot of bosses are just very easy in this game. Not very puzzle based, but it does help having that extra bit of health when you're exploring. And if you're not sure entirely about how it works, they explain it further when you exit from Mikha's sanctum. I'll ignore you for now. Thank you very much. I do not require your soul. You are being weird.
Return to the sanctuary of the clans, Raziel. Melchiah's soul has endowed you with the means to gain entry. Beware, however. This hollow derelict is abandoned, but
but not uninhabited. And yeah, the first thing that you can find is that glyph piece over there, which is now accessible to you.
These artifacts enhance your stamina, enabling you to prolong your material manifestation. Gather 5 to complete the emblem, and thereby augment your strength.
This place leads to the main cavern, yeah. Should be another place where we can phase through, but I'm not entirely sure we can make much of a difference just yet. And this is an area transition letting you know that, hey, you're going to another place entirely. I almost think of it like a loading screen in some senses, because it usually happens on very blank hallways and the like. Yeah, I'll have to come back later because there are a bunch of symbols that are hidden here. And you can only get them with the climbing ability. The Sanctuary of the Clans. This is not it. Raziel's domain. That's the Human Citadel. I think the easiest might be to go to Raziel's domain, and we can take another glyph piece there. And you're hit with that good music in Raziel's domain. I love this music, it is so amazing. There should also be one other glyph we can take, which is in the water, and it also requires the phase through ability. But I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going the right way or the wrong way here. Because this should be the exit to the Sanctuary of the Clans, if I remember correctly. Oh no, it's not. That's okay, because this allows us to get that glyph before I forget. It's one of the glyphs that I always consistently miss when I'm playing. No, wait, it is the way to the Sanctuary of the Clans. But we'll get that glyph before we head to meet Kane, who's waiting for us, and to get our Soul Reaver upgrade. Also, let me save my game. As you can see, I have a lot of saves in this game for a very good reason. I've actually managed to finish this game in under 5 hours. The reason for that is there's a glitch at the very end of the game. The first time I played it, the remastered, I took my time. I learned all the puzzles, like made sure I didn't miss anything. But at the very end of the game, there was a glitch, which completely stopped my progress at the very final dungeon, and I had no way of fixing it at the time. Very few people even mentioned it, but at the time, right, there was no way to fix it. So I just played through the entirety of the game all over again, which isn't too bad, all things considered, but still. But yeah, this glyph is the one glyph that I tend to forget a lot, because it's at the very start of the game, and if you don't really go after it or notice it at the beginning, it's easy to miss the fact that, hey, you need to come back here with something. Alright, let me do a save here as well. It's amazing for me to think that it's possible to beat this game in probably just one streaming session, playing casually, right? Speedrunners can probably do this in under an hour or something, I'm 100% sure, especially if you're skipping the dialogue scenes. And if you weren't sure of where to go, the game more or less hinting that, hey, over here, there's something interesting. Follow this path. You kind of don't need to deal with these guys. I think you can just draw a soul from over here and immediately just head back. But you do need to deal with these enemies, who are very surprised that you suddenly appeared. Yeah, I kind of don't think it matters which side you go here. Both sides are blocked, and you have to go into the spectral realm. And then reappear back here in front of the doors before you meet Cain. It's a very interesting sound design too. Like, you hear whispers and things, and they've made it so that it's right in your ear.
Raziel.
Cain.
The Abyss has been unkind.
I am your creation, Cain. Now, as before, you criticize your own work.
That's such an amazing line.
Degenerate.
Yeah, that is such an amazing line. You criticize your own work.
You have no right.
What I have made, I can also destroy, child.
Damn you, Cain! You are not God! This act of genocide is unconscionable!
Conscience? You dare to speak to me of conscience? Only when you have felt the full gravity of choice should you dare question my judgment. Your lifespan is a flicker compared to the mass of doubt and regret that I have borne since Mortanius first turned me from the light. To know that the fate of the world hangs dependent on the advisedness of my every deed? Can you even begin to conceive what action you would take in my position?
I would choose integrity, Cain.
Look around you, Raziel. See what has become of our empire. Witness the end of an age. The clans scattered to the corners of Nosgoth. This place has outlasted its usefulness. As have you.
Kane's fight is
Soul Reaver,
pretty easy.
Cain's ancient blade, older than any of us and 1,000 times more deadly. The legends claimed that the blade was possessed and thrived by devouring the souls of its victims. For all our bravado, we knew what it meant when Cain drew the Soul Reaver in anger. It meant you were dead.
You are dead. The tricky part of this fight is just finding Kane before he manages to charge. Because it gets faster, I believe. Each time.
The blade is vanquished. So it
So it unfolds.
And we are a step,
Yeah, one step closer
to our
to our
destiny.
destinies. The laugh at the end.
I swore I saw a glint of satisfaction in Cain's eye when the Soul Reaver was destroyed. I did not understand the game that Cain was playing, but I knew the finishing move.
From this moment and ever afterward, you and this blade are inextricably bound. Soul Reaver and Reaver of Souls, your destinies are intertwined. By destroying the sword, you have liberated it from its corporeal prison and restored it to its true form, a wraith blade, its energy unbound. No longer a physical blade, it can only manifest itself in the material realm when your strength is fully restored. Once manifest, it will
sustain you.
What are you, little soul?
Ariel appears.
Creatures
I
come to
really
taunt this
like
band
Ariel's
like you.
redesign in the
I
remake.
did not intend to disturb your rest.
Rest. A body is
Body is needed for sleep.
Flesh and
Flesh and bones are required to recline.
No, child. All I may do is watch and remember, ceaselessly conscious as this wretched world's history unfurls. Ghastly past, insufferable future, are they one and the same? Am I always here?
What a loaded question, right? Because insofar as I understand, Ariel has already met Raziel in the past in Soul Reaver 2, right? She sort of tries to manipulate him here too, in a sense, because next to the Elder God, she kind of points the way as a hint system.
How have you come to haunt these pillars?
Cain refused the sacrifice. The pillar of balance, corrupted to its core, stands as a monument to his blind ambition. Now these pillars serve only to bind me here, my prison and...
Right, compared to the original, right? I feel like it's a completely different mood when you see Ariel in this form versus this form. I mean, in some ways, maybe I do prefer the original too. That's a very Bishonen look. But this, I think I'm more familiar with her incarnation from Soul Reaver 2, so yeah.
eternal home, thanks to the avarice of your master, Cain.
That bastard can claim no allegiance from me.
Then we share a common foe, Raziel. Return here when you have need. Ariel remembers what others have forgotten.
And if you want to fill apart your magic or health, you can kind of do here. And Ariel will give you a hint as to where to go.
Far in the eastern mountains, a stifled titan stands in mute surrender, unwilling host to a parasitic swarm.
And we'll be coming back here because there's another path up there that we can take. But right now, a couple of things that we can do. I'll probably call it for today's stream after I get one more little secret, which we can get from Mikha's place. Because if you remember, when you entered Mikha's sanctuary, there was like a little coffin with the twin reavers in front of it. And now that we have the Soul Reaver, we can sort of unlock it for a few bonus stuff. After getting that, I'll probably just call it for tonight's stream. Ideally, I want to finish this game before Defiance comes out, but we don't have too much time. Thankfully, the game's pretty short, as long as I don't spend too much time exploring or...
Your brother Zephon's keep lies far to the east, beyond the ruins
getting
that lead
collectibles.
your first exit from the underworld. He and his brood have cocooned themselves in a derelict cathedral, having murdered its human guardians.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to how... Is the transformation point over here? I think so, right? And with the Reaver equipped, you sort of have a lot more power and sustainability. What I meant to say. In this world, look, as long as your HP is full, it's not going to drain anymore. But one hit will completely remove it, so it's still not a complete bypass, not a complete freebie. Wait, that was Mikha's portal. It's amazing to play this game in modern consoles too, just because of the loading speed. There was always a bit of a slowdown for that before. I mean, understandably. It's the entrance to the keep. We had to go through there. I always get a little lost when exiting Mikha's teleport location because the other exit is on the other side of the room, and I'm not entirely sure where the coffin is. I want to avoid fighting the ghouls for now. when I was a kid, I loved the little animations they do for using the Reaver to like having all those particles go in. A bit of a funny thing, I guess, but I liked it.
With this artifact, your glyph energy capacity is increased.
Yeah, just a little glyph upgrade down here. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna save here and actually call it for stream. It's unfortunate I couldn't start earlier. I feel like if I did, we've gotten so much further in the game. It's not a long game. Again, you already saw my save data there. You can probably finish it on under 5 hours. But the 5-hour thing was very much with me skipping the dialogue and everything, which I will not be doing while I'm playing through the game again. Just so that we can get a proper recap before Defiance comes out. In any case, if anyone's watching, take care and good night. Here's Mikha, signing off. Wherever you are, stay safe.